it looks like this famous streamer may have just changed the game for all streamers as it relates to this one intellectual property. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am Dave, a 10-plus-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from patents, copyrights, trade secrets, as well as trademarks. And it seems like Kai Cenat had just filed for a trademark of his name. There's going to be a lot of learning lessons from this. We're going to pull up a video in case you guys have been living under a bridge and don't know who Kai Cenat is. We're going to pull up a video to kind of talk a little bit about who he is. And I think he just finished a streamer university where all these high-level streamers came and kind of essentially put on a show and streamer for days on end. So we're going to pull up that here in a second. But I think this may be interesting because for those of you who don't know, we're going to kind of get some learning lessons out of this. A lot of you probably did not know you can trademark your name. Now, some things have to be in order for you to do that, which I will talk about. But I think the bigger thing is with this, especially with streamers kind of going, a lot of times, I'm not thinking Kai Cenat is his real name. I would imagine that a lot of streamers use their real name. Will more streamers, popular streamers at least, start to trademark their name because it's beneficial. If you guys been following my channel for any length of time, intellectual property, trademarks is a form of intellectual property, and this stuff is important. You can make money whether it's merchandising. You can keep others from using your name from a branding standpoint, and especially trademarks, they last forever as long as you're using it. Now, copyrights only last 70 years, a life of the author plus 70 years. Patents last 20 years to the extent that it's a utility patent. However, trademarks, to the extent that Kai Cenat wants to stream until he croaks, he can protect his name forever. So without further ado, some housekeeping items as I pull this up. Please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit the subscribe button to be a part of the IP community where we talk everything intellectual property. Now, this video that I have queued up is, and I'm not going to play obviously the 43 minutes, but I'm going to play a couple minutes of it. And it's essentially first day of orientation. I know for those of you who didn't go to college, this is what orientation would look like at a college or university. And it seems like I said, streaming university that Kai Cenat put on recently. Again, as the professor, as the number one guy, he's showing up and essentially taking the students through streaming university. So let's check this out and see if we can learn a little bit more about Kai Cenat. Let's go. He has 107,000 people streaming. That's crazy. These are all the streamers that attended this streaming university appearance.
Test, is we good? Go ahead. All right, everybody sit the fuck down. Hey, sit the fuck down. Okay, listen. Oh my God, it's so fire to see everybody in this. Who in there, bitch? Dude, that is in this bitch. Okay, dude, AJ was good, man. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all created a crowd outside. It's a crowd outside. Hood babies, I see you in this. God damn.
So that's pretty much Kai Cenat, man. Anytime you can have 100,000+ people streaming you live, you have a little bit of clout. So again, this is a big deal, and the fact that seems like streaming university is maybe a trademark name. Also, I saw the R in a circle on the screen, but he's just for trademark protection on his name. Let me tell you, as a trademark attorney, as an intellectual property attorney, I'm actually in the process of filing a trademark for a client in their name. And this is going to be difficult because to file for a trademark protection, your name has to be distinct. So we all know Jane Doe. We all know like Robert Jones. Those names are too generic to be able to file for trademark protection on. So to the extent that your parents name you, again, my name is David, so that's a common name. Spears, that's a little bit more unique. So to the extent that my name becomes distinctive, I may can get trademark protection on my name. But again, to the extent that you have a generic name, like I said, like Jane Doe or maybe Robert Smith, it's too generic to be trademarked. So that's kind of tough. And in general, unless your name is unique or it has acquired what we call secondary meaning that, hey, everybody knows you, your name kind of transcends you as a person, but it's more so is associated with the product. So for example, Tom Ford, I'm assuming that Tom Ford, who creates the suits, that's his name. But when you say Tom Ford, they don't think of the person, they think of the suits. We say Ralph Lauren, maybe the guy's name is Ralph Lauren, but you don't think of the person, you think of the cologne or the polos or whatever the case may be. Joe Rogan has an actual trademark on his name. But when you think of Joe Rogan, yeah, I guess you kind of think a little bit the person, but again, the service, the podcast, the service that he's providing, that being a podcast is more so is what is associated with Joe Rogan name at this point. And I think Kai Cenat is going to probably get a trademark on his name, which I think is huge because it's kind of shows the value of it. And we'll take a look at, let me actually pull it up here, the actual trademark from the test database. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. So please let me know your thoughts. I do want to try to give you guys some value on this stuff. In case you're thinking, okay, everybody can start trademarking their name. Not quite. It doesn't work like that. Like I said, trademarks are very hard to get for names, and your name has to be essentially distinctive, meaning that it can't be generic, and it kind of be pretty unique, and the public has to know your name to be associated with some type of service or product that you are providing. In Kai Cenat's case, he's streaming, and that's kind of his service that he's providing. So I think he's in good shape for getting a trademark. Let's take a look at, this is the test database. So if you go to just Google and type in TESS, and the first thing that pops up, that's the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the test database. So you can search names. And again, I just put in a general search, Kai Cenat, and it popped up. So it's not currently registered, it's currently pending. So let me see if I can do this. To the extent that if it was registered, it'll say registered. You see how this one, it says registered, but since it's pending, it's showing up as pending. And if we click on the class, I'm not sure if that, okay, so here we go. He is filing for a trademark in class 41. So when you file for a trademark application, you have to let the USPTO know what class you're looking to protect the mark in. Now you can protect it in various marks, various classes with additional fees, but it's not like you file for trademark protection and you get your name or whatever mark that you're going to get trademarked in all the classes under the sun. So it seems like in this case, he has it. He's filed for trademark protection in class 41, which is providing online videos featuring streaming, music, shows, video game, prank stunts, and not downloadable. So that's, pretty much what he does from my understanding. He's a world famous streamer. Like I said, over 50 million subscribers, and this guy's making millions of dollars a year. So I will say one thing, Kai Cenat, you probably want to get with your people. You probably want to have this in a business name as opposed to your personal name. And again, that's more so for legal protection. I wouldn't own a trademark individually. Actually, I have a couple trademarks pending that I'm not going to pull up, but I definitely want to have this in my personal name. And as you go start to see a lot more sophisticated trademarks. So again, you see this is registered. This is not only registered in the foundation name, but it's a Delaware corporation. Again, this I wouldn't have this person as an individual. A lot of the trademarks you're going to see are in business's name, LLCs, trusts, S corps, things of that sort. And you do not want to have the owner of your trademark be your person, because it just opens you up for liability. To the extent that somebody wants to sue you personally, they can attach your name, your trademark name, and there it goes from there. So one thing, number one, kudos for trademarking your name, Kai Cenat. But on the other side, hey, just simple assignment form. Make sure that your people, your representatives, get that trademark out of your name and put it in a business name that you own, obviously. So that's all I have to say on that. Hey, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think this is a good idea for Kai Cenat to trademark his name? I definitely think it's a good idea. But more importantly, do you think more streamers who stream using their personal name and who has a massive following, such as Kai Cenat or somewhere close, will start filing trademarks of their personal name? I think that they should. Like I said, trademarks last forever to the extent that you are using it. I'm surprised Kai Cenat did not file it in class 25, which is like goods and apparel, to the extent that he's trying to sell shirts and merchandise and things like that. But again, to the extent that he's protecting his trademark and it is value, you can get loans off your IP, your intellectual property, because it is considered an asset. Shouts out to him for doing it. Like I said, for the average person, maybe a little difficult for you to trademark your name just because you have a YouTube channel or some type of platform, to the extent that it's not as popular as Kai Cenat's, or to the extent that the public at large does not associate the name with your person, as opposed to what you want to have happen is associate the name with the service or the good that you're providing. So let me know what you guys think about this. Please leave your comments in the comment section. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community where we talk everything intellectual property. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.